I'm on island side.
Questions for Trinidad, Chambliss?
Trinidad, it was senior night tonight. You haven't even been here a whole year yet, but just
Yeah.
what did tonight mean to you, and just what has your experience at Ole Miss been like for you?
Yeah, it's crazy to think that, we're so far into the season. Last home game of the regular season. Hopefully we get a playoff home game. But yeah, Ole Miss, my time here has been great. Gotta thank everyone who was involved with, getting me here. And then obviously now that I was here, supporting me with my journey here and whatnot. So it's been great, really nice. So.
After the interception, what's going on the sideline, and how do you guys stay level-headed? Seemed to not bother you. You bounced back very well.
Yeah, that was just a bad mistake by me. Didn't see the end drop out. Thought when he cleared the linebacker that, it was free, but just got to see in front of him. And, things are going to happen in games, but I just can't get too high and too low. In that instance, I can't get too low on myself. I put the defense in a bad spot. They ended up getting points out of that drive. But, yeah, it's just next play mentality.
What was, you've been in a lot this year, but what was that environment tonight like? I think the biggest attendance ever in history here.
Yeah, that was amazing. Shout out to all the fans that came out and supported us. They really made a difference in that game. It was cool to see how involved they were, with the noise and just interacting with them after the game too. That was just special and probably one of the best night games that I've ever played in, ever. So, yeah, it was really cool to see everyone come out and, be so intense and just be electric.
You guys are 10-1 now and finding ways to win games. Do you think this Ole Miss team is peaking at the right time?
I guess you could say that. I feel like we've been very consistent throughout the whole season. Obviously, like earlier in the season, there's some things to figure out and, some wrinkles that we have to, clean up. But I feel like we've been really consistent, throughout the whole season. And you could say we're peaking right now. But, yeah, I'm liking where we're going right now. We got a lot of good momentum right now, and I'm feeling confident with every game that we're playing. So,
With it being senior day and you getting honored, like you haven't even been in Oxford long, but what's this place meant to you?
Yeah, it's crazy to think that I was here in May, and now it's senior night. This time has flown for sure. And my time here has been amazing. I can't say enough how special Oxford is and Ole Miss is. The people make it really good, and they truly are just like genuine human beings down here. They say Southern hospitality is a real thing, and it is. So yeah, it's been great so far here at Ole Miss, and truly thankful for everyone.
Senior night, and you guys have the bye week coming up. Does that give you a chance at all to think about what you maybe want to do next year, if that's even crept into your mind?
Yeah, we'll see about next year. But right now I'm just focused on this year. But yeah, that'd be really huge if I would come back next year. But just right now trying to do the best I can for this team and to take us as far as we can.
And last time we talked, you said you wanted to play a better night game than the one against South Carolina. Do you feel like you did that tonight?
Yeah, I think so for sure. Obviously want to clean up that interception and that ground ball that I threw to Trey on the 1 yard line. That was critical. It was like sick to my stomach when I released the ball. But yeah, I think I had a great night tonight. Better than the last night game.
Trinidad, it's been a crazy season for not just you, but Ole Miss as well. Just what has been your favorite part about this season and going through it?
My favorite part probably is just the process and like throughout the whole season how we've kind of grown up or seen things change. Kind of see how our identity is throughout the whole season. Because at Ferris State I was there for a while, so I kind of knew like what the standard was and how the culture was there. And it's really cool to see how it is here at Ole Miss, and it's not really anything different, really. It's very similar to Ferris State, and Ferris State wins a lot of games and they win national championships, and Ole Miss has the same tendencies. So hopefully we can end up getting one of those. So
You had a ball batted to you tonight that you caught and kind of Houdini'd your way to a first down on fourth down. Kind of walk me through that play.
Yeah, 4th and I think 6 maybe. But yeah, ball got batted down. And then I just saw it in the air, knew it was 4th down, so like just trying to make a play, grabbed it, and then yeah, ended up finding a crease and then got the first down. That was that was pretty cool.
And you've played road games now at Georgia and Oklahoma, some of the bigger stadiums in the SEC. How does tonight's environment rank compared to everywhere you've played now?
Yeah, I'd say that's kind of different just because, like, when you go on the road, you're kind of like the villain. And I low-key like that, having someone that's, like, against you and, the whole stadium's against you. But it's also cool to be at home and, everyone's supporting you and, cheering for you. But, yeah, tonight's vibe and tonight's, atmosphere was unmatched. I feel like that was truly, like, an SEC night game when you think of, like, SEC ball. But, yeah, that was a crazy atmosphere. And, just shout out to the fans. That was amazing.
You targeted a plethora of different receivers tonight, and a lot of guys had at least more than 2 receptions tonight as well. I've noticed you guys coming in on those 4th down packages, bringing in some tight ends. How confident are you in your guys and your wide receiver and tight end rooms in terms of when it gets to 4th down or it gets to a crucial 3rd down in terms of completing that pass and getting the conversion? How confident are you guys in that group?
Yeah, our whole receiver and tight end group, I got all my trust in them to make a play when I'm throwing them the ball and when the ball's in the air for them to come down with it. And, yeah, there's no hesitation for that. And, like I said, I just throw to whoever's open and, go through my reads. And, our coaches have a great game plan on 3rd down. They do a great job with, scheming up for the defense that we see. And, yeah.
With the bye week, how quick do you flip the page to Mississippi State? And I guess a 2-parter question: how much more do you need to learn about this rivalry? It seems like they're going to be playing for a bowl game too that day.
Yeah, I knew the Egg Bowl was a thing. It's a pretty big rivalry, and they take it serious down here. But yeah, having the bye week, it allows us to get a head start on film and watching their defense and watching how they play offense or defense for the defense. But I feel like our coaches do a great job with getting on top of that. They do it throughout the whole week. They get ahead on the next opponent that we play, even who we're playing, each week. But, yeah, the Mississippi State-Ole Miss rivalry is definitely huge. Any rivalry game is going to be intense, and we just can't get, too big into that, rah-rah. But just play our ball, and we should take care of them. So,
Trinidad, the drive right before you guys capped off the final touchdown, you went over and Joe came over to you, and I think you guys it looked like through the camera that you guys had words about a 3rd down and then a potential 4th down, and he said, yeah, it looks like we're going to just go for it. The comfort level that you have with him, what does that say about your relationship? What kind of relationship, I guess, do you guys have in the trust that you guys have in those kinds of moments?
You're talking about Coach Joe Judge, right?
Coach Judge, yeah.
Yeah, Coach Judge, he's like a second father figure. Really genuine guy, just a great coach as well. He's always just so attentive to everything, every detail, and he helps us out as quarterbacks. He's always one step ahead of us too. So if one play goes a different way than what we think, then he's already on it. So he does a great job, having our mindsets ready for whatever could happen. Because in football, anything can happen, and I'm glad that I met a guy like him because he's really done a great job, influencing me and just bettering me as a human being.
Going back to the Egg Bowl, but what excites you the most about going into Starkville? On the road, you said you like to be the villain, so what excites you the most about that?
I can tell you what doesn't excite me is just constantly hearing those cowbells. I've heard that they're very annoying, but I'm just excited to play, at an environment like Mississippi State. It's a rivalry game. Like I just said, I kind of like being on the road, and everyone kind of hates you, and you're the villain. So I'm excited about that, and just playing such a historic game like the Egg Bowl is definitely a dream of anyone, probably a little kid in Mississippi. So I'm excited to play in that game.
Can you talk about which of your family and friends were here for your senior night and what their support means to you?
Yeah, a lot of my family came down from Indiana, Michigan, obviously. Just the support that they have for me. They can't come to a lot of games, but it's really cool that they're really tuned in all across the world. But yeah, I love my family. My parents come to every game, but I'm talking about distant relatives. But yeah, it's really cool to see the support, and I'm glad that they got to experience a SEC night game. I'm sure that they'll never forget this night. So yeah, that was really cool to have them come down and watch me. Appreciate you guys.